tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, the Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, I'll be talking about the Minotauro. This is a tier 10 Italian auto-reloading tank destroyer. It is a vehicle that sacrifices mobility, sacrifices accuracy, damage per minute. I would also say it sacrifices camouflage and view range, all so it can have good armor, good gun depression, and a very beefy alpha, plus an auto-reloading mechanic. Now, the auto-reloading mechanic itself also sacrifices in the fact that one of its shells is kind of useless, being the reserve shell. However, even though this tank has so many downsides, I have to say, I actually kind of like it. It's kind of fun to play. Why? Well, I like alpha, as many of you know. Alpha is key. And when it comes to a vehicle like the Minotauro, I don't know how to pronounce it. People have told me in the comments I pronounce it wrong. I don't think it matters too much. But the thing about this tank is that because it has so much alpha, it does actually have this really deadly presence. The problem with the tank is its traverse speed. If it had more traverse and the ability to at least somewhat defend itself against mobility, I mean, heck, I was out-traversed by like a Type 71 the other day that was flanking me in this vehicle. That should not be the case. This tank should be just as fast as the other fellow tank destroyers on traverse, maybe a little bit slower because it has a semi-traversable turret, but it definitely should not be this slow. This is awful. It should have some traverse speed. That is just a fact. So I would say that it needs a traverse buff. But when you are able to hit a shot like this and deal 506, and that's only about 10 higher than my average, it does feel really nice, I have to be honest. We can see that the enemy team has a WZ right over here. We're going to reload. 3, 2, 1, and... I honestly would have been probably better off if I had just shot my first shell, but that is where the DPM does become a nasty, nasty figure with this tank. Obviously, you need to have DPM in some games to do well, but at the same time, ooh, there's one nice shell into the WZ, and, well, we don't get another one out, but that's all fine. We're just going to chill here. Reload again. We got a couple more seconds left before our next shell. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. And the E4 is now not looking at me, which means we can get an easy shell into his tank. I'm not going to worry about him anymore, and we're going to move on up towards... Never mind, the WZ's dead. How did that man die? He was alive just a second ago. Wow, enemy team is turning into Swiss cheese with all the holes being punched into them. But let's make our way into the front line. And this is where the Minotauro is going to do great, because its turret is so front-mounted, and the fact that it's got such a nasty alpha means that a vehicle like this Caro is not really going to enjoy my presence all too much. Now, the thing is that you don't really get a lot of damage out in this vehicle. You can see that in this game, the enemy team's already quite low, and we're only at about 2,300 damage dealt, and I doubt we're really going to get much more. We're going to go for, well, I can't really get a shell into that guy, so let's just go for shot into the T-22 medium's turret there, but that's it. I mean, that was my whole game in the tank. It was 2,700 damage. Now, while 2,700 may seem like a lot for maybe some of you, for me, I normally go about 3,500 in tier 10. So, I mean, for example, I went 3,700 average damage in the Yo today. So it's a good example of where not every game you're going to be able to get a lot of damage out in this vehicle. However, that is where you specifically want to make your losses count. When you lose, obviously it means that the majority of your team is going to fall apart either fairly quickly or over a prolapsed amount of time. And what that means is that for a vehicle like the Minotauro, you have the ability to take advantage of your team falling apart and farm the damage while they are. And with that reserve shell, it means that you're able to get just that little bit of extra damage out. So I will say, in certain situations, the Minotauro feels nice on losses because you can get some really nice damage numbers out in a loss. And it also feels nice in some victories, especially the ones where it's a longer game and your team's holding and you're able to use the gun depression and the armor of the alpha. I mean, the tank's got good pen. 374 heat is honestly fine. It's basically a heavy, and you don't really need more than 370 millimeters of heat pen in tier 10. I'm going to be honest. I mean, you can penetrate an E100 turret easily, Jagdpanzer superstructure easily. That's really all that's going to be hard to pen. I mean, sure, you might have like the upper plate of a mouse that's a little tricky at certain angles if it's upper. you know, if it's angling up. But apart from that, the pen on this tank is fine. The accuracy, while it's bad, isn't terrible as long as you're keeping it somewhat in the front line, because it actually has decent on-movement dispersion, because it obviously has a semi-traversable turret compared to most tank destroyers having a non-traversable turret. What I'll say is that my opinion has definitely changed on this vehicle. Previously, I did not like it at all. I thought, well, it's cool that it has this new mechanic. It's got, you know, a cool gun. It's got alpha, but it's got such bad accuracy, such bad mobility, and everything else that it's really not an enjoyable tank to drive. But as I've started playing it more and more and doing better in it, as I've been learning the playstyle, I've been doing pretty good now, I gotta say. I mean, today alone, statistically, I played maybe about 12 or 13 battles in it, went over 70%, which is pretty good for a tank destroyer, and averaged around 3,400, which is not bad at all. It's pretty similar to my average statistics. And for the past 30 days, my Minotauro stats are just a bit below 70 at 68%, but I'm averaging 3,300. So I'm actually enjoying the tank. It's fun to play, and yeah. Here we are in our second battle. I'm gonna be honest, I was watching Food Theory while waiting to load into this game. Gotta watch some other YouTube videos, right? So, this battle, we can see that they have 3 mobile tanks, which is why I'm gonna be driving towards medium side. Now, the great thing about the Minotauro is that because it has such good frontal armor, specifically against mediums, it should do a pretty good job here. You also outtrade mediums a lot. It's a lot harder to deal with this tank than you think. On paper, you're like, yeah, it's got no DPM, and it's really slow, but at the same time, most battles you have teammates. Oh my god, I accidentally, so my keyboard is right next to my mouse, obviously, and what I did is I accidentally banged my mouse into the side of my keyboard and just fired my 20-second reload. Oh, we would have had a full clip at this point. Oh my god. Well, that really sucks. Oh my god. Well, the good news is that it took us so long to get into position, but look at the cringe. Look at the cringe. Oh, we would have had a shell. Oh, the anger. Okay, well, let's go for a shell into the E50. There you go. Easy shot. And I'm not going to shoot him. I mean, we would have done so much more damage, but still, it's better than nothing, right? So I'm hoping that our AMX gets that shot in. I'm going to go for this 183, aiming, and fire. Now, you can see the accuracy on this tank being a bit poor. And while you may not be able to fully tell, I am very salty right now. But we should be able to reload our full clip in just a moment, which will be nice. I mean, while I am having a bit of an unfortunate circumstance right now, we are still winning this game and doing a decent job at the end of the day. So I can't really get mad, although that is my fault. I have to be honest, I did not see that Yag until it was a little too late. I didn't think it was a Yag sitting there. I thought he'd maybe be, you know, a bit less of a deadly tank. But you know what? If we're going to get hit this hard, might as well get the last shell out. There you go. We've dealt 2,000 damage, which is pretty decent. My E100 is going to pen the shell. And now we're on a big reload again. Now, you might be wondering, why did I dump the clip? Well, 2 reasons. First of all, we're at 200 health. And at least if I'm going to die, might as well connect some shells. That way I'm not fully dead. I'm pretty sure that Sheridan's the one that hit me, and it looks like it is. Sheridan's camping in the back like a little, you know, Sheridan. That's what Sheridans really do. Sheridans are the king of the most annoying tanks in Tier 10, by far. The fact that they get away with sitting in the back is very irritating sometimes. Now, what I'm hoping is that, perfect, my teammate clears that. Ah, this gun, though. Ooh, okay, please hit that. Nice, we did hit that. And if we can hit this, yes! All right, nice. That's actually sweet. With that, we're just shy of 3,000 damage, which is not bad at all. Again, I'm being very cautious because of the health we're sitting at here. I have to be. But, at the same time, we're doing pretty good. I have to be honest. We are just shy of 3,000. I would say maybe 2,900 at this point. And you can see that, again, it wasn't a bad idea dumping my clip because we have plenty of time to reload our shells. This is where you want to play the Minotauro smart. There's a lot of people that are like, why are you dumping your clip, you know? But if you think about it, because this tank's so slow, you need to think about how long it's going to take you to get somewhere. If it's going to take you more than 40 seconds to position, then you should dump the clip. That is just how you kind of want to drive the vehicle. Now, unfortunately, the gun big trolled me there. Oh my god, game. Please pen one shell. Yes, there you go. We did it. 3,300 damage. There you have it. I mean, I'm very salty that that my shells really trolled me, because that could have been such an easy chunk of damage on that guy, but whatever. I'll take some damage over no damage. Definitely the Sheridan spotted me. Guy has to be sitting somewhere directly in front of me, so I'm just going to wait here. And he's got to be spotted somewhere. Oh, wow. No, he went towards the 268. Odd. I'm a little confused on why he went there. Looks like the Sheridan's running through our spawn, and he's going to go down low, which gives me a couple options. It's either deal with him through the water, or he's going to camp in their spawn. Now, we don't have base D kept, so I'm not really sure about the Sheridan's thought process, but he's still going. He is still going. I am detected. Come on. Poke me. Poke me. Come on. Do it. Do it. No! Alright. I'm really hoping that this guy pokes me. Fire! That was a bad shot. He's gotta poke that spot, right? He's gotta. Come on. Is he really not going to? Really? Is this guy just gonna sit there the entire game? Oh man, that's cringe. We actually could have probably made it there. Oh! No, I didn't blind fire him. There's no way I blind fired him, right? There's no way. I watched my shell hit the dirt. It's impossible. Either way. That was a pretty lame battle, if I'm going to be completely honest. But it did showcase the kind of playstyle of the Minotauro. The gun can be incredibly troll, but we still did deal 3,300 damage. You're not going to deal much more than that in this vehicle on average, because the gun's accuracy. I mean, if we'd been able to hit just one more shell on that IS-7, we could have been upwards of 3,800. Think about that, because we have 490 alpha. So it really is unfortunate to get misses like that, but that's kind of how this tank plays. You really got to use it in the front line, use its armor against the mediums. To be honest, if I hadn't have messed up that first shot all the way at the beginning, and we'd have been able to get a shell into that 121B, and then we would have also been able to get a shell into that E50M without even worrying, then we also probably could have done upwards of 4K. So that was just a really unfortunate game in a lot of situations. But still, you can see where the tank actually does get out some damage. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you think about this tank in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.